Right then, let's get you started off nice and easy with 3 tasks that'll help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you head down a floor and point your nose to the west, you'll get an eyeful of the great glowing crystal in the middle of the courtyard. That's an aetherite, a device what can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to travel, provided there's an aetherite where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with the yellow jacket on guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device. Before you do that, though, remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your venturing bits and pieces for sale in a district what lies beyond the aetherite. Don't go throwing your gill around just yet, though, or you'll get fleeced quicker than you can say, "Why is my coin purse so light?" Have a word with Swosblight instead. He's the head of the Merchants Guild, by the way. Give him this old Arten, and he'll treat you well. For the last of me helpful hints, I suggest you meet some fellow spellslingers at the Arcanist Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for your tome if you decide to join their crew. Muri at the front desk is the one to get you started. Got all that, lad? Seeing to them 3 tasks will take you on a little jaunt round the city and help you work out where everything is. Now, I'd best be getting on. Run along, eh? Bugger it! There I go, sending you off without telling you something crucial. That bloody calamity's made a right mess of my memory, I swear. Well, that or the ale. Any road, while you're out, if you happen to pass any poor sods what look like they might need your help, consider giving them their tale of woe a listen, eh? Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what interesting opportunities could be lurking out there just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Nina over yonder's been casting glances at you since you waltzed in. Why not lend her an ear and see what she has to say? Aye, you're like to find yourself running odd errands in the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a man folk can trust, the jobs will get harder and the rewards more generous. If you've the time, I'd also seek the advice of the smith here in the wench. The lads that bear that title have some fine advice for them what are just starting out in the profession, and that, my lad, is how you go about becoming a legend among venturers. Well, would you look at this? A shiny new adventure. Listen close, lad. I've some information that might just put you on the map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall below not long ago and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered on the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think they might have been the black market wares known as dream flowers. Limsa Laminsa is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow in across the strait are above board, if you know what I mean. How'd the plants end up in the mizzenmast? Who knows? Might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak to Skenrail, and she'll get you down to the first floor. Then all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to Alstif at the Arten. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such shady goods. You wish to visit Bulwark Hall below? The crow's lift is ready when you are. Yes, I'm Aldskiff. You have some herbs you wish me to examine? Yes, as you suspected, these are the highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They are the prime ingredient in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull the sniffer's mind into the sleep of death. Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Althic lavender, a common enough export from Limsa. In fact, these probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, son. But not to worry. You've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. By way of thanks for delivering my scattered lavender, I have a nugget of information that may prove useful to you. You see, I was recently approached by an unkempt seafarer, which is not, I admit, particularly unusual for a man in my profession. What was unusual was that he offered a generous sum of gil to be introduced to any adventurers I might know. In my experience, sailors are not known to carry such a wealth of coin about their person, especially with the alehouses of Limsa so close at hand. Kidnappings have not been uncommon these past moons. I suggest you take this information and speak with Glazrael, the guard who stands at the entrance to East Hawker's Alley. It never hurts to show a spirit of cooperation to the authorities, lad. Excuse me, sir, but might you have a moment or two to spare? You seem the type who enjoys being accosted for menial tasks, and I require someone to make a delivery to the dutiful sisters of Edelweiss. I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't heard of them. The sisters prefer not to advertise their presence here in Limsa. They do, however, provide a rather unique service, of which the Brugire Consortium has recently been the beneficiary. I would have you deliver this package to their doorman, Lornward, along with our profuse gratitude. Another novice adventurer. Baderon has sent more than a few of your kind this way of late. I'm Sundheimmal, one of the Yellowjackets tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance in the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of the name will wish to seek out and attune himself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The Aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. That is disturbing news. Your initiative is appreciated, adventurer. I'll have the captain place the Yellowjackets on high alert. And while I have your ear, I need you to visit Ferdrib and tell her the same thing you told me. You'll find her a bit further down East Hawker's Alley. Ferdrib has frequent dealings with adventurers, so any warning you give her should soon spread throughout the city. Psh! Sweetnix is beauteous gobby and crafty smart trade maker. Sweetnix makes busy deal with uplanders. Need delivered to Gate of Melvain, but Sweetnix has shiver shakes. Uplander walks to Gate of Melvain for Sweetnix. Uplander delivers letter to Tax Lady Chaja. A fine morning to you, sir. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all four corners of the world. Pray, browse the stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate upon the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo but recently arrived at the docks. You bear a gift from Baderon. Whatever could it... Ah, my Arten! By the navigator, I must have left it behind in the wench, along with a week's pay and several bells' worth of intoxicated memories. I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid, and what better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant? If it is simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek, you need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each gil you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light and your time is short. But verbal instruction of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets for yourself. You, sir, adventurer, I have work for you. I would have you pose as a customer and survey the market's current prices. Surely I did not see you balk at so simple a task. All you need to do is strike up a conversation with the shop owners and glance over their wares. There are 3 merchants that interest me: Iron Thunder, Kyokorun, and Signhill. Write down all you see on this price list and hand it to Bainsing at the West Hawker's Alley. He shall reward you for your service. Greetings, sir. Might I interest you in the services of a retainer? What's this? Some suspicious seafarer is on the prowl for gullible adventurers. A possible suspect in the recent kidnappings, you think? Well, I'll be sure to pass along that warning to all my regulars. What with all the merchants and travelers milling through Hawker's Alley, these kinds of unsavory activities can often go unnoticed. In any case, I promise to keep a sharp lookout for anyone being accosted by strange-looking sailors. Well met, lad. Cast your peepers over these beauties. Not a spot of rust to be found, every piece fresh from the forges of Naldik and Vimelis. Kyokorun welcomes welcome customer. Kyokorun loves his lovely trade. Kyokorun's goods are goodly makes. A fine morning to you, sir. What can I interest you in? Why, you seem interested in most everything, don't you? Is this another one of those investigations? Well, I have nothing to hide. You're the one what made a list for Swozblade? Let me see it. Nothing wrong with the markets. You oftentimes get pirates selling stolen goods at cutthroat prices, and that drives the numbers down right across Auger's Alley. Thanks to these reports, though, we can tell at a glance when shady dealings are taking place. Good work, lad. Where is Sweetnix with those import records? Without the proper documentation, I am afraid we'll have to expel him from the city. Why, these are Sweetnix's records! Glad I am to see they were submitted in time. Honestly, you would think that goblin would have lost his fear of our offices by now. Every month he is to submit these papers, and every month his tardiness forces me to consider his removal. As long as one follows proper procedure, Limsa is quite welcoming of foreign traders. Pray convey these words to Sweetnix. Perhaps it will aid in soothing the poor goblin's fears. Welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It is here we research and develop the field of Arcanima. Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometries, intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence, to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. Ah, but if I'm not mistaken, you already possess some rudimentary understanding of the craft. Shall I deepen your knowledge of our history as well? The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to the esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this process, the existing mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave ether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as Arcanists, and the school of Arcanima was born. Many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa, Arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. The knowledge of an Arcanist, however, is traditionally passed from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admiral Merylwib, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So, at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanist guild was established and funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you would continue your study of this challenging discipline, then I must insist that you indicate your commitment to joining our guild. Well, have you decided to enroll in our guild, or are you now intimidated by the thought of excessive thinking? Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guildmaster that you might convey your intentions in person. Due to extraordinary circumstances, however, he is unreachable at present. Instead, you may speak with Mistress Thubergrim. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. You will find her just over there by the bookshelves. You needn't be shy. Though her mind is sharp and critical, her manner is always most welcoming. Yes, I am Thubergrim. Greetings, and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Miri has doubtlessly explained, I am serving as acting guildmaster until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origins? Allow me, then, to expound upon its nature. Arcanima taps into the living energies of ether. The evidence of this is represented most aptly, perhaps, by our ability to manifest the arcane entity Carbuncle, and the manner of magic which this ethereal ally employs at our command. The core of this discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary, even on the field of battle, nay, especially on the field of battle. This principle takes precedence. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An Arcanist is measured by his ability to calmly analyze a situation from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate strategy. The study of Arcanima will test your mental faculties to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Let us now see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. In Lower Lanaska, you will find, among others, 3 species of pest: wharf-rats, little ladybugs, and Aurelii. I ask that you employ your skill in Arcanima to eradicate 3 of each type of creature. Leave the city through the Tempest Gate, and you will soon encounter the potential targets in abundance. As long as you remain focused, I do not foresee these opponents causing you or your budding abilities undue difficulty. Once you return from completing this preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanist Guild. May your judgment be swift and clear. Here at Melvin's Gate, we inspect all the goods that are imported into Limsa and collect duty as the law requires. Some merchants, however, seek to evade this obligation, and we must chase them down. I would be grateful if you could deliver these 2 ledgers, one to a man named Simheimel, whom you will find at the Octant, and the other to a woman named Letitia, who works at the Bismarck. If you are uncertain as to the whereabouts of the Bismarck, ask Simheimel when you meet him, and he will point you in the right direction. A ledger from Melvin's Gate, you say? Yet more outstanding duty payments. When will those merchants ever learn? Very well, if I catch sight of any offenders, I shall drag them to the gate, kicking and screaming if needs be. One more ledger bound for the Bismarck, you say? Follow this path to the upper decks, and you'll find the place. Tax evaders among our patrons, you say? Goodness me! I dare say this may well put an end to their appetite, but this is in the best interests of the city-state. If any of the merchants named in this ledger come to dine with us, I shall see that Melvin's Gate is notified without delay. We spare no effort to ensure that all our patrons enjoy the finest food and hospitality, and so it is doubly hurtful when someone decides to leave without settling the bill. Nary a bell ago, a first-time patron did just that. Rushmo, who is the one who lovingly prepared the man's meal, she is quite upset by the whole affair and has taken it upon herself to draw an illustration of the offender. Might I trouble you to deliver it to the Yellow Jackets on our behalf? Rushmo should be done adding the finishing touches by now. Grrr, I poured my heart and soul into that grilled dodo. If I ever get my hands on that scoundrel, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Here it is, my rendition of the criminal. Please deliver it to Godebert at the Coral Tower. He will know what to do. Begging your pardons, good sir, but you are an adventurer, are you not? I realize this is sudden, but we urgently need help restocking our larders. We are in the midst of preparing a full-course meal for soon-arriving guests, but I fear we are short on fresh lamb for the main course. I would be grateful if you could procure 4 slices for us. I dare say it would be quickest to obtain these directly from the source, wild lambs. In case you are unfamiliar with the creatures, I suggest you speak with Albfar, a sentry stationed in Bulwark Hall, just below the Drowning Wench. You want for coin venture? How'd you fancy working for the Kraken's Arms, one of the greatest pirating crews in Limsa? If you're interested, take yourself up these here steps to the balcony above and talk to Carvalane, our captain. Do right by him and he'll do right by ye. Greetings, friend, and welcome to the Seventh Sage, purveyors of the finest spices from the East. All of our products are guaranteed obtained through completely legal means. Oh, you do not seek spices but employment? Well then, let us speak of how you might be of service to our organization. Our Misery returned from her latest voyage bearing exotic spices never before seen in Eorzea. I've prepared 2 samplers, each of which I would have you deliver to certain individuals. The first is for Grenade, whom you will find at the Coral Tower. The second is for Master Lingseth, the head chef of the Bismarck. And do make certain the right person gets the right set. Go now and return here once you have accomplished the task. Welcome to the headquarters of the Yellow Jackets, the keepers of the peace at Limsa Laminsa. Is there aught I can assist you with? A sample of spice, courtesy of the Seventh Sage, you say? There's no mistake, this is fire sand, and the kind used by the Garleans beside. Quite intriguing. Very well, we will consider placing an order. Oh, you thought that you had brought me spice? I see you are not familiar with Carvalian-isms. For the sake of convenience, he uses the word spice to refer to literally anything he has procured on the high seas. Lest you worry, the man isn't engaged in any activity that is considered piracy. Far from it. Think of him as a trader, a heavily armed one, who represents Laminsan interests in eastern lands. An alarming number of civilians have gone missing of late, though I suspect you've already heard the rumors. It is essential that we ascertain their safety. To this end, I have prepared a list based on reports from our citizens. Would you be so kind as to deliver it to my colleague in Bulwark Hall? Delkia is her name. My thanks in advance, friend. A bilker at the Bismarck, and you have an artist's rendition of the man? What in the 7 hells is this supposed to be? It looks more like the prow of a ship than the man's face. Look, we would like nothing more than to bring the offender to justice. 'Tis our duty, after all. However, we will need a little bit more to go on than this piece of art. It would be easiest for all involved if Rushmo were to come here and answer some questions. Please relay to her as much. So you've spoken with Godbert? Blah! Within the bell, the Yellow Jackets will have that swindling scoundrel locked in a dungeon cell, and then I'll take my filleting knife and... Huh? Godbert wants me to go to the Coral Tower for questioning? But what more information does he want that my drawing doesn't already provide? Isn't a picture supposed to paint 1,000 words? A new sample from the Seventh Sage? Alright, let's have a whiff of it then. Ain't smelled nothing like this afore. The notice came with it says it's a root, what grows in Authard. Last I heard Authard was under Imperial rule. How the 7 L's did Carvalane manage to get hold of this? Any road, I reckon I can cook up something fresh and new with it. Thanks for the delivery, friend. Welcome back. It would seem both samples were rather well received, and this is in no small part due to our affable courier. 'Tis unfortunate, but notoriety accumulated over the course of years does not fade overnight. There are many still who are hesitant to do business with savage pirates. Yet the old days of piracy have passed, giving way to a new wave of opportunity. My crew and I have decided to embrace this wave. With the Admiral's blessing, we engage in a form of trade with Garlean ships. Everything we do, you may rest assured, is within the law. There you are, Arten. Enjoy your jaunt around the city? If you mean to base yourself in Limsa, that won't be the last time you'll visit them 3 places. And now you've got some idea of what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You've shown a good ear for listening, lad. Stick with old Baderon and you'll go far.